it out, man. It's Alchemist. It's the God right here.
Don't pee right here, you know what I'm saying? And don't be scared to get shitty, man. You know what I'm saying? UGTV is going down.
What's good, y'all? This is Music Soul Channel right now. You are checking out Urban Grind TV.
What up, man? This is Ludacris, and right now you are watching UGTV.
What's happening? It's the Teflon Don Ricky Rouse. And right now you rocking with Urban Grind TV. It's going down. Flock Bell install 10 by 10 minutes. UGTV don't go nowhere.
Yo, what's up? It's Eric Sermon, the Green Light Bandit in Chi-Town. UGTV, you know how I do all day. Represent that. You know what time it is.
Joel Santana, and right now you checking out Urban Grind TV. Dipset for life, Skull Gang forever, Slow Bucks, keep up. Ooh.
What's up, it's the Patty Cake Man, and you are watching UGTV right here.
It's Big Snoop Dogg, Urban Grind TV, you understand me?
Urban Grind TV, Face Mob in the building. I'll let your motherfucking boy.
Killer Cam, King Joffrey, Joe, Spacey Sprockets, and right now you watching Urban Grind TV. You know what it is. Dipset, you win.
Yo, check it out, y'all. It's the dead. It's Raekwon the Chef, and you doing it big right now on Urban Grind TV.
What's good, man? It's the God. You know what it is. You're watching UGTV.
Yo, what's up? It's DA to the Z, Urban Grind. You know what I mean? Television, keeping y'all updated. Get on the log in, email us, holla back. It's DA to the Z right here, Chicago, baby.
Welcome, it's your boy Wally, aka Mr. Music is My Business, and we are live from Smoky Studios, Chi-Town, the Midwest.
Yo, what's poppin', baby? It's your boy J.R. Lyrics, man. We back out here at UGTV. How y'all feeling, man? Y'all good?
Man, I'm feeling great.
Man, it's your boy Sinister the Entertainer, aka Mr. Sinister Music Group, man. What we doing here today, man?
Today we are actually back for our show Mind Over Men. Where we talk about men's mental health issues. Episode 1 was strictly breaking the stigma, right? So we're not doctors, we're not experts in any of these fields, but what we want to do is break the stigma and make it okay to talk about men's mental health and mental health in general. And so we want to break the stigma. We want to give people coping mechanisms as opposed to both holistic and therapy based, right? And just recommend it, whatever works for you. And to give people resources. So there are opportunities and resources if you are suffering from the stuff where you can reach out and do it. We just want to say as men, as human beings, we experience it as well. And we're saying it's okay to talk about it. We're in the entertainment industry, so that adds another aspect of of what we do in dealing with mental health issues. And it's all right. I was playing episode 1, which is running tonight on Comcast, RCN, Wild Cable.
Shout out.
Everywhere, 11 p.m., Channel 25.
Watch it.
I had it playing at the house on the TV, and my son was watching it, and I always screen him. And I was like, we got part 2 tonight. We're going to be running, ironically. We're going to be shooting tonight.
What a coincidence.
Right. And I was talking to him, shout out Lil Wally, but I was talking about, him, and we were talking about something that he had went through at school. And he asked me, he goes, this is real life, like really happened today. And he goes, Dad, you're in the music business. And I'm like, yes. He says, but if you talk about like stuff like this, won't people think like you're weak? And that was that is kind of the standard thinking kind of across the board. And even from an 11-year-old boy, he thought, hey, is that weak? So that was a teachable moment, and that was a moment for me to allow and say, you know what? It's a lot stronger to address things that are hard, that are difficult. And a lot of stuff comes from inside, so it's hard. How can you change anything around you or the world if you don't start with the inside? And I told him, that makes us stronger, if anything, because we're able to talk about it. We're tackling an issue that faces our friends, our family, and our community, and our industry, right? Look at this guy, something blowing on him. So this is something that people face, and we're talking about, we're saying it's okay. So today, episode 2, we're talking about PTSD in men. And Mind Over Men, what we do, we're going to explore post-traumatic stress disorder, focusing on its impact on men. We're going to talk about some insights into it, some statistics, coping strategies and some therapies, kind of what I just talked about. We want to break down some myths. That was kind of a myth that kind of like was a great segue into it.
Yeah, because that's crazy. Because it's like at a young age, boys are taught to endure and not talk about what's going on inside.
Correct. And those boys become men.
Boys become men.
And they become fathers and uncles, big brothers and mentors. So everything happens for a reason. It was a great moment. We're saying it's okay to talk about it, to address it. And you know, it's like working out. If you go to the gym and you're like, hey, I want to work on my arms because you don't have the strongest arms, that's not saying I'm weak or this is a weakness. You're just saying, hey, this is an area that I want to be stronger in.
Yeah, you train it.
And it's your perspective. So if you look at it like that, like a perspective base, and say, this is not a weakness, because I'll still knock you out.
Right.
But it's a thing that, hey, I would like to be better in this area. So I think, you know, that's why it hits. And I think PTSD is something that we used to talk about, and it was something that, like, people thought was like, you were crazy or something, really, but it's not. It actually affects a lot of people.
I mean, it's crazy you say that, because like, me, myself, like, I didn't know I had PTSD till, like, early, like, later in my years of living. You know, I thought it was just like something that was me tweaking. You know, people be like, oh, I'm tweaking, you know what I'm saying? It's being delusional. But no, it was actually, you know, me having PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, being around different surroundings and stuff like that, you know, and not knowing that, oh, this is a trigger. You know what I'm saying? Being around these group of people or being in this area is actually a trigger. You know, and I think it's very helpful for people to, like, really understand and witness that, okay, hey, you know, I got PTSD. You know what I'm saying? What are some things that I can really, like, help myself to, you know, just be better at it, be mindful of it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, just having the knowledge of it can really help you out. You know?
Yeah.
It really can help you out.
Man, you don't know you really have it. Like, a lot of people go undiagnosed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
True.
That's why we're starting these conversations. To let, especially men, because a lot of older men refuse to get help because they're from an old school, a different generation where they had to do certain things a certain type of way, and it affects them.
And it's very difficult to get them to address or kind of change their ways. And what happens, those men raised other men,
Exactly.
which raised other men.
It trickles down. It trickles
Right?
down.
So
yeah.
it's a generational curse. We're trying to build generational wealth, generational knowledge, right? That's something that makes a change. And I think, you know, there's PTSD that happens to people in the military, people that have been through violent or horrible situations, stuff that's happened to them, some kind of assault or violation of their personal space or anything that they might go through. But also, if you live in urban environments, maybe a city like Chicago,
especially a city like Chicago, man.
Right.
Especially like it's different things that triggers it, man. It's different things, different environments.
Right, because why? Because you know someone you've lost to gun violence or to crime, right?
Yeah.
Or somebody broke in your car or took something from you. Most big cities, it's a problem that happens in a lot of cities.
Yeah.
But if it happens from a young age, like I lost my first friend at like 14.
Man.
My boy Ralphie.
Yeah.
So when you lose somebody that young, and by the time you're 15, 16, 17, you get kind of numb. It just becomes normal.
Yeah.
And it's really not. It's like other people have friends they grew up went to high school with, and they see their families now, and they got kids. I was like, nah, I lost a lot of my friends.
Man.
They died at a young age.
It's crazy.
Right?
Man.
So that will give you PTSD or trigger symptoms of PTSD in itself.
It does.
And I mean, if you want to go deeper, you know, even the news, you know, the stuff
Yes.
that we watch, the things that we listen to, that can give you PTSD as well.
Oh yeah, I don't watch the news like that.
Know, like I mean, for me, the news is very toxic.
Yes.
All you hear is, in today's news, such and such got killed. In
Yeah,
today's news,
you hear
such
so
and
much
such, you know
negative
what I'm saying?
stuff. And
So
then,
if they say if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know if it's always agenda, but I think that's what stands out to them, and what gets people's attention, and that's what gets people to tune in. And I don't think that's anything nothing new, but unfortunately that is something, and that will scare you.
Man.
That'll trigger you and say, oh, maybe this could happen to me.
Yeah.
This is something that I'm concerned about. You know, but I wanted to make sure to mention that there's a lot of people that from a young age have to deal with PTSD and have to suffer through that because their environments and stuff that, you know, because you might know somebody that's been affected by it. We've all been touched by something that could be a trigger for PTSD, losing somebody or something traumatic happening in their life.
Yeah.
But the numbers, did we check out the stats, Jay? Like what the numbers were?
Yeah, man. Like the numbers is crazy, bro. So, like, you know, for an example, like in just urban settings alone, right? PTSD rates are elevated among men, right? Exposed to reoccurring acts of violence, you know, including witnesses. You know what I'm saying? And with up to like 15% experience the symptoms at some point. You know what I'm saying? So that 15% right there is just crazy. And that's just from experiences. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm pretty sure it's elevating more and more every day. You know, but that's just a little quick standard of it.
And, you know, it says that you can get PTSD from accidents.
Yeah.
Physical assaults, a disaster. You could just be like in a tornado,
Man.
right? Like, what are the chances you're in a hurricane? Something like that. Or you see somebody die or someone severely injured. They might not even be related to you. You might be on a bus or traveling. You may see a car accident.
Just to witness it.
You witness it.
Yes.
Just to witness it.
It's crazy. Because, you know, they used to always think that it was war veterans. And it said like 30% of war veterans had PTSD. That's a lie. Listen, the guys that were in Vietnam, it's going to be 100%. I don't think you can see young people die and ship bodies home, even if you worked in the rear and shipped coffins and stuff like that. If you cooked meals for guys that came in and they never came home, I don't think you can shake that off.
No, man.
I don't think it. I think it's a lot higher. But again, these are reported numbers. Again, because not everybody talks about it. And so if you don't talk about it, that means you don't fill out a survey, you don't self-report.
Right.
So you're not in the real numbers.
It goes unchecked.
Right, it goes unchecked, which probably helps, you know, if it's unchecked and the numbers are low, that you don't get funding, you don't get resources for stuff because it's unchecked. And a lot of people didn't know. I didn't know I had PTSD until I was talking to another veteran. He was a Navy guy, and we were just talking. I was telling about like something that had happened to me the day before. He's like, "Oh, that's PTSD." I'm like, "Nah." And primarily for me, it's like I didn't want the title because you know how once you get like that,
it's like
a
stigma,
brand,
it's like a stigma that goes behind
like,
it.
Oh man,
especially
like,
for veterans.
Do I have it or do I want that title? You know, like that label, the label. I was like, yo, like that's a heavy label to have, and I'm like, I'm a strong person. You know, I went to school. You know, I think I'm above average. You know, in some areas. So for me to have that, I was like, wow. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I am, and I was still able to accomplish so much. It's just, it might be harder. You know, and it really comes down to what you want.
I mean, I think that's crazy that just the label alone for you, it kind of
was scary.
It was scary.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's crazy, man. And it just makes me think like, how many more other people out there have the same mindset and they would never go get checked. They would never, you know what I'm saying, sit down and just self-diagnose. You know?
Right.
And it's like, you know, they would never understand, okay, it's just what I really have because they don't want the label.
Correct.
You know? And to me, that's crazy.
Right.
That we do that to ourselves.
What if you grew up in a household where your family had it?
Yeah.
So then if your dad has it, then you assume that to be normal.
Yeah.
Just like if your dad was like an alcoholic, you would think being an alcoholic is normal. Because your perception is built off like your life.
Your environment.
Probably your environment, your childhood has a lot to do with it. Because that's kind of what shapes you.
Yeah.
The experiences. And that's crazy because, you know, the people think this is something new. And it's only been around, like I was looking, there's only been therapies like EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. That was 1987. That wasn't even that long ago.
Bro, to give you a reference, I was born in 1984.
There's still 87 cars. There's probably cars from 1987 on this block. So it's not that long that people have been treating people with PTSD. That's crazy. All this stuff that people have for whatever they want to be, however they feel, and their emotions, and PTSD is like been around since the 80s.
Late 80s.
Late 80s.
Yeah. Late 80s.
Not to go left, but it's like, it kind of makes you think like, man, so what's the agenda of not even educating?
Because it's another problem, and you have so many problems as society to face on a macro level, right? On a big level, where mental health and stuff like that needs to be addressed on the micro level. And it's community. Starts in your household, then your school, and then it goes to your, people around your family. But listen, they're teachers, they're not mental health experts.
No.
Right? And
if
you're being abused or you've been through some stuff, then what happens is you cut yourself off anyways, then you become more introverted.
Yeah.
So it's hard to talk to people like that. I think depending on what school district you're in, there's not a lot of resources if you're in an inner city as opposed to you're like in a good school.
School system does matter,
right?
Yeah.
So all those things are against you. There's stuff that go through the 1960s, anxiety, depression, but really, like, these things didn't started getting developed till around the 80s. And I think how many people did we lose? How many people were misdiagnosed?
Yeah, that too, yeah.
They said, oh, man, that guy's a drunk. Maybe he's not. He just had PTSD.
Yeah, right. No,
and that was his coping mechanism was drinking.
Exactly. Yeah, people who killed themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not understanding what it was because they didn't even have a diagnosis for it.
Right.
There's evidence where, like, the guy from the Temptations, when he killed himself, he was going through so much. He suffered PTSD. He's an alcoholic. Now he has triggers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It might not be a loud sound, or it might just be something simple as a lady dragging her son because mom's just dragging him up and down the street all day, and him wanting to go home and be, it's a trigger.
Yeah. I mean, and then you never know what people like go through.
Right.
Day-to-day basis.
You don't.
Like, you never know what people see, hear, feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to it.
So
there's a lot of stuff.
Yo, what's the word? It's SMG Zello, aka Thought Boy Zello, the Talk A Lot artist, man. In the beginning, it was hard for me to get exclusives and to get promo for my music. But guess what? UGTV has that, man. Call the number below, and they will help you out, man. It was the best thing I did for myself.
What's going on? It's your boy Wally, aka Mr. Music Is My Business from Urban Grind TV. I'm here to announce my brand new book is out. It's available everywhere books are sold. It's titled Music Is My Business, the ultimate startup guide to the music business. You can check it out at musicbusinessebook.com, Amazon Books, Barnes & Nobles, and everywhere that books are sold. And it will help you turn your love for music into a sustainable career. Check us out, musicbusinessebook.com.
Are you an artist, model, or entertainer? Do you need help with bookings, castings, or even engagement on your platforms? Hit up Urban Grind TV today and let them get you right.
We kind of touched on online where they showed videos of men like a week before they killed themselves, and they were smiling and they looked happy, and they had their kids, or they were in their car, their boat, and people don't know, like, yo, we have to put that on.
Yeah.
We have to wear that. That's our armor. You like, because if you ask, like, how you doing? Like, most people want to see, great, I'm doing okay.
I'm doing fine.
You want to hear, like, yo, my bank account's overdrawn.
Right.
My car is on flat. I ain't got no air in the car. I think the compressor's
Baby
messed
mama
up.
stressing me, man.
My BM is giving me a hard time. I got $32,000, in child support.
Man.
That's bad. I think my warrant came up because I overslept for. You don't want to hear that.
Check engine light came
You just
on.
gotta hold that. Listen, you gotta hold that frame and come in and come to work.
Yeah.
And like we all work together, right? So like we deal with that, and because we're tight, we chop it up about crazy stuff and things that we're going through and how we feel. But when it's time to hit go and action, then we gotta get ready. We gotta go to work. And that's no different than any other job or any other role that you play. If it's a friend, a father, a caregiver for your parents, you gotta like you going through that, but you gotta snap it in and go and make it work. And we talked about as men, we don't have all of the support, the community like females may have, or we may not feel comfortable. You're not gonna tell another man that you're having a problem, especially if it's with a woman, because he's gonna be on your woman.
Yeah,
man, he's gonna be on it. He's
hey,
like, oh,
facts.
bad.
Hey,
he's the first dude in it.
Vultures.
Like that's gonna be after you.
Dead meat on the ground. Come on.
So like you can't do that. And then if you tell your family about it, you don't want to never tell nobody your business because
they throw it in.
You're gonna make up with them, and they're always gonna have that negative opinion of your person because that's their experience, but they don't know how it is the other 93% that you're around that person, right? And maybe you like toxic, maybe it is bad, but maybe it's not,
right?
And if it's not, like they don't have that experience, so it's really hard to say who you tell and who you don't tell your business to, you know. But you have to deal with it yourself. And I had a conversation today. I said I got a lot of responsibilities. So if I'm dealing with my problems and I'm dealing with your problems and your problems, and and your problems, and those are maybe my friends and family. Now let's go to the clients and people that we will help with and serve. You can't deal with all that if your stuff ain't right. That's why in the airplane they say put your mask on first and help the person next to you.
Right.
Put your mask on first.
You gotta be
help
in order.
The person next
you
to
gotta
you.
help yourself first before you help anybody else.
But how I get out of order is if I slow down or I get distracted by the wrong things. And I think that's how a lot of people get lost. Is I might have a great regiment, I might have a great goal and say, you know what, I'm really good at this, I am disciplined, but I might be tied up. You know those people that always have a problem? When you talk to them, there's always a major issue or crisis, and they're all preventable, they're all self-inflicted.
Man.
And a lot of times it's people's mouth or their feelings.
Basically,
right, but they always have problems. So I don't want those problems. I will give you advice, I'll give you counsel, but like eventually you got to solve the problems because you're a grown-up.
Adults.
Being a grown-up. And literally, did I say earlier when we were sitting in the office in the store, I said, I'm in the solutions business, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the solutions business because there might be 10 different scenarios or things in personal life and 20 more at work, but it's how I respond to them, right? It's how I deal with it. And the solution, if your solution is to be mad or upset all the time, then guess what? You're going to be mad and upset all the time. I don't want to be. I think my solution is like, I want to figure it out and I want to talk about it. And I know I got PTSD. So I know when I'm interacting with you, like, I got to be conscious and like how I respond or how I react because you might misunderstand it.
Right.
You might misread it. But
especially if you're triggered,
if you're triggered already because you've triggered something in me that reminded me of something else. I don't want to make you suffer for something that you did, and that's not fair.
Right.
And that can go in business or personal relationships. Everybody is different, and I'm not an expert, and I really truly believe when you date somebody or you have a relationship or close relationship with any person, you are dating their childhood trauma and how they were treated and what they went through. Exactly. So you have your own problems, not have this person's problems. I don't care if they're an employee. The closer they are, the more intimate
it is.
You're going to deal with them, right? So you either got to decide like, okay, I can handle this or I can't. And you got to come in, you're in the solutions business. And you got to be like, okay, I know how, even like I think being a manager has helped me because I'm like, all right, I know how JR wants to be treated. I know his flow, his workflow and what he's looking for when we have a conversation. Sinister, I know because we've done work and we have a history, right? I know kind of how we do business. But kind of it doesn't stray from my standard of quality of life or nothing. I know how I do it, but I may treat you different than you because you have a different goal in life.
Exactly.
And not everything's one size fit all, and the people are like that. And I always tell my son, be nice to people. Like, be nice. I'm nice to people, especially if they're handling my food. If they're handling my food,
hey,
I will be so extra nice.
They're going to play flow hockey with your burger patty.
I'm not doing it.
What's that, the hot tour?
I'm grateful. Yeah, I don't want the hot tour on the burger. But
oh man,
be nice to people.
Shout out to her. Whoever.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to hot tour.
And, you know, I told him, like, the most real, like, money. The real people with money, they don't show it. You'll never know.
No. Bill Gates wear Walmart outfits.
Right. And the real people that are, like, deadly, like, you shouldn't mess with, are very respectful.
Yeah.
They're very nice. You want to say the most gangster, the most, like, they are very respectful. They know what they can do to you. And they don't got to do all that barking and all the extra talking. They're about action. So it's the same thing, like, you don't want, like, when you see people that bark all the time, they're not really doing anything. And they want attention. A lot of people are only used to negative reactions, and that's what they want to draw to you. I don't want to give you a negative reaction because you will trigger something in me.
Yeah.
It's going to. It's inevitable.
Man.
And it's like fire. If you feed the fire, it's going to burn.
He can get you took out.
It's going to burn.
Quick, bro.
Now,
Quick.
I'm not huge. I don't know. I can't say I'm an expert in any of this, but when I was researching, I was writing the show, and I was putting this together, I wanted to talk about holistic approaches and community-based support. So, like, non-drugs. You know, there's drugs that help people. I'm not against it. If your doctor says, give it a try, research your thing. But holistic are like all natural approaches to help yourself, help you cope.
Help you heal from within inside.
Healing some stuff. And
you know what I'm saying?
I found like acupuncture, which I've had before. Yoga, which I've never done. I'm going to try it out now. And meditation.
Yeah.
I meditate.
That's my go-to, yeah.
I used to do it. I was more disciplined at a time. And I got away from it, but I think it's amazing. Yeah. And I just didn't want to say, hey guys, do yoga. Because it's the internet said, or I found in the book. I wanted to get like an explanation of what are the benefits. Because people do studies. They do studies on this stuff. And it helps engage your mind and your body. And it's crucial for recovery. And it's basically, yoga's like postures and stretches and breath control. Breath control exercise. Like, you know, breath is so important. How you breathe, the way you breathe is it. And what it does is it helps you calm your nervous system. Because you're hit with all this stuff since the moment you wake up. If you roll over and grab your phone, you're like, oh man, this happened. I gotta deal with this today. So all day long you're hit and you're exposed to stuff, and then you go home and you're like full of it. So you need something that's gonna help your body de-stress, decompress.
Yeah.
You know, decompress. I clean myself. Like if I've been around a whole bunch of people and I feel drained,
man, I be on the same.
You know, I'm gonna clean myself with some incense. I'm gonna clean myself with some, you know, some stuff. I'm gonna smudge myself because it's a lot. It's a lot of energy to pick up from people. You know, and you'll feel it. You'll be like, man, I'm burned out. And I usually, for a day after a big event or something, I need a day to recover because I'll feel all that pull on me. But maybe if I did these breathing exercises or I was more active in other things, it wouldn't wear me out. Right. That's like me going outside and running 2 miles right now. I'm gonna be tired tomorrow. I'm gonna be hurting. But if I ran like a mile every day, it would not be bad. No. So it's the same thing with meditation and yoga and exercise. Like, hey man, if it works, then try it. If anything, they got cool outfits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody got mad at the yoga outfits. So
I know I did,
just try it. The benefits that we looked up, it improves your physical health, makes you flexible, makes you stronger, gives you good stamina, right? And it helps people deal with long-term stress and trauma. If you need something, just like if I smoke, it's a bad habit. Instead of reaching for cigarettes or whatever, maybe you do some yoga. Instead of reaching for like coffee, and some people drink like 5-6 coffees a day, maybe you scale back a little bit on the coffee.
I used to abuse coffee.
And you substitute, you know, because going cold turkey, I don't believe in that because you're like punishing yourself. But maybe if you're able to ease back a little bit on some things and replace it with something that's more healthy.
Moderation.
I don't believe in starving yourself. Like, we're here to experience life and just the experience of life itself. And it's starving, our ancestors starved.
Yeah.
I'm not starving. I don't want to starve. Our people have already suffered to be here. I want to live good, and I want to be mindful. So another benefit of yoga is emotional regulation. Promotes mindfulness, body awareness, helps you recognize and manage the onset of emotional and physiological distress. Triggers the onset. That means, you know what? I know this is going to be bad. I know this is a situation that I have to walk into that I may not be the most comfortable. You know, I owe Tori $20 and I don't got it, but I got to go see him today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to thug it out. That's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever, or you work with somebody you don't like.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
More often than none.
Right? And so you're going to be in uncomfortable situations, and those compound all day long.
Man.
And then if you have like children or you live with family, then you have other stuff that are compound. Now you have their problems.
Exactly.
So
it's inherent.
These are all things that are going to trigger. So we're already, you know, post-traumatic. It says it in the title. It's something after a traumatic event that you're still reliving and that you have reminders of. So I have to deal with something that already happened, and I got to deal with stuff that's happening now. It's crazy.
Hey, that's too much for any one person.
We're punishing ourselves. We're punishing ourselves. I do it. It's something that I go through as well, but we literally do that, right?
Yeah, no, we do.
We punish ourselves for the past, and we punish ourselves for our mistakes. Like, yo, I should have did this. I should have did that. I have feelings. I have stuff that I was like, man, I wish I would have done something different at the time. You didn't know any better.
Yeah.
You have to forgive yourself sometimes.
Give yourself some grace.
You know, give yourself some grace. We forgive people that make us mad 3, 4, 5, 6 times
in a row,
but we don't forgive ourselves for something.
That's crazy. It's like, why is it so flipped like that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because we're harder on ourselves. Because I think we compare our lives to other people's lives. And we compare ourselves to people's highlight rolls. I see the best. Like, oh, I see the best of people online or on camera because people generally promote the best. Or sometimes it's the worst and they're falling apart and they need support or they want attention. You know, but it's okay with being in the middle. It's okay we'll be just all right today. You know what? I'm not my best. I'm not my worst, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. It's a start. Definitely a start.
You know
what I'm saying? Yeah.
The joke is when I go to the gas station and the guy's like, "How you doing?" And I'm like, and the thing is like, I'm all right. You know, most people don't care, and the rest are happy to see you got problems. Like, who cares?
Right.
Like, you really care, or is it just a formality?
It's
because
become
if a person opened up to you and said, "Look, man, I got this stuff really going on," after about 5 or 10 minutes, your attention's gonna be like, "All right, well, I got my own problems."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, all right, man, it's good.
Yeah. Now you see, I gotta go, right?
Hey, that's crazy.
But if we're able to better, deal with stuff and deal with pressure and stresses, if we just make it normal, on TV and on the show, on Mind Over Man, to just talk about stuff like this,
it's
triggers,
it's
coping mechanisms.
It's good
It
therapy.
is,
man.
I feel better. It's therapeutic.
Man, bro, I don't.
Hey, at least know what you got, and if you want to do it, you got somewhere to go.
Exactly. So there was some stuff about how meditation supports PTSD recovery. What'd you find out about that, Jay?
I noticed that it reduces hyperarousal, which is dope for me. You know what I'm saying? Meditation can decrease the reactivity of the amygdala. There it is right there.
Amygdala. Yep. Yeah.
The brain.
Hey, we in our wordsmiths over this.
Emotional, you know what I'm saying, processing of fear, which is often hyperactive in PTSD sufferers. So I think that was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? That yoga can do that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, meditation can do that.
Meditation.
You know?
Meditation.
What about you? Know what about me? Been doing this since the age of 15. I've been on my own. Tell me what do I need? She make me cry. I'ma make you bleed. Cat killers on alert and they on their way back. Feel like I'm uncomfortable without my strap. Should've told me you run it to behind my back. Should've told me you run the game, but now it's a rap. Let's get it. Hit from the back, so I know this kill it. Took out my enemies, know I'ma drill them. All in the mouth, she be sharing a dinner. All on the couch, switch the TV like Kindle. Fire up the block, spit the pole when I bend them. Block with the switch, see the light in my denim. If I gotta get them, then I gotta get them. Ain't missing no socks, so we watch what we send them. I'm popping a pill, now I feel like a million. Got it in my bag, so I might pop a Perkin if I...
All right, let's get through these puss-ass jokes and get out of here, all right?
See, a creator's job is to be fearless and to express their truth through their art form. We are not responsible for your damn feelings. It's okay for people to not agree with someone's artistry, and it's okay to be offended. At the end of the day, none of that shit's going to kill you. I promise.
Chicago needs the Avengers. We need to represent. Damn, I feel like I'm at the Apollo. This is crazy.
Yo, what's the word? It's SMG Zello, aka Thought Boy Zello, the Talk A Lot artist, man. In the beginning, it was hard for me to get exclusives and to get promo for my music. But guess what? UGTV has that, man. Call the number below, and they will help you out, man. It was the best thing I did for myself.
What about you? Know what about me? Been doing this since the age of 15. I've been on my own. Tell me what do I need? She make me cry. I'ma make you bleed. Cat killers on the lurk and they on their way back. Feel like I'm uncomfortable without my strap. Should've told me you run it to behind my back. Should've told me you run the game, but now it's a rap. Let's get it. Hit from the back, so I know that she with it. I got a ball, can't get knocked on my pivot. Pushing these drugs, so you know I be dealing. She like when I touch it, she know I'ma kill it. Took out my enemies, know I'ma drill them. All in the mouth, she be sharing a dinner. All on the couch, switch the TV like Kindle. Fire up the block, spit the pole when I bend them. Block with the switch, see the light in my denim. If I gotta get them, then I gotta get them. Ain't missing no socks, so we watch what we send them. I'm popping a pill, now I feel like a million. Got it in my bag, so I might pop a Perkin. If I want some X, then I'ma call Perk. Making this bridge, trying to give me some merch. He playing games, he get left on the turf. What about you? Know what about me? Been doing this since the age of 15. I've been on my own. Tell me what do I need? She make me cry. I'ma make you bleed. Cat killers on the lurk and they on their way back. Feel like I'm uncomfortable without my strap. Should've told me you run it to behind my back. Should've told me you run the game, but now it's a rap. Let's get it.
Tengo enemigos, es pa' eso el corrido. Guerrean contigo y te van a tirar. Te tiran DM y ella pichea, pero es pa' mí, ella se va a animar. Tanti los 25, yo estoy bendecido. Esa nena vino pa' perrear. Luego la llevo conmigo y yo le doy más rico que lo que ha tenido en el life. Yeah, life, yeah. Yo le tiro duro high cap. Hace frío puro ice, yeah. En lo mío I'm a nightmare. Heavy sumo at the top. No va a caer, no, I'm not gonna drop. Si no se trata de lo mío, picheo, cabrón. No speak up cause I don't give a fuck.
What about you? Know what about me? Been doing this shit since the age of 15. I've been on my own. Tell me what do I need? She make me cry. I'ma make you bleed. Got killers on the lurk and they on their way back. Feel like I'm uncomfortable without my strap. Should've told me you run it to behind my back. Should've told me you run the game, but now it's a rap. Let's get it.
What's going on? It's your boy Wally, aka Mr. Music Is My Business from Urban Grind TV. I'm here to announce my brand new book is out. It's available everywhere books are sold. It's titled Music Is My Business, the ultimate startup guide to the music business. You can check it out at musicbusinessebook.com, Amazon Books, Barnes & Nobles, and everywhere that books are sold. And it will help you turn your love for music into a sustainable career. Check us out, musicbusinessebook.com.
artist, model, or entertainer? Do you need help with bookings, castings, or even engagement on your platforms? Hit up Urban Grind TV today and let them get you right.
Hyper raw. I mean, isn't that normal though? Isn't that something like PTSD? These are things that our body is developed to keep us alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we don't know, like, hey, I can't walk into traffic and not get run over, then
we have all this
and guess what?
survival mechanism.
The ones that didn't
us.
have the PTSD, that weren't worried about it, they did walk into the traffic, they did get run over, and they're out of the gene pool.
Yeah.
Right? They did not reproduce because they weren't strong. Like that's nature. That's Mother Nature.
Yeah.
So if anything, like it is like what they say, like it's a gift and a curse. You ever have something like, you know, life is the ultimate, you can be that. And like get like talents and stuff, you're like, oh, I'm really good at this, but now it's work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gift and a curse, and I think we got to look at that.
Yep.
Neuroplasticity.
It's like regular meditation. It increases the density of gray matter in areas of the brain associated with memory, emotional regulation, and empathy. You know,
Isn't that amazing that you can actually change the brain? Like, like your brain can regenerate by just doing meditation. Just like turning off stuff and sitting and thinking with yourself. People do it in jail, I think, right away when they get arrested. And that's why they break down, because they've never had to sit and quiet and listen to their feelings and their emotions and just themselves. There's a lot. And by the time you're already in, you're too late because you already messed up, and that's why you're there. If you're going to do that, like, take a personal day. Take a time out. I'll do that. And I'll say, you know what, today I'm going to dedicate to myself. I'm going to do something that's good for me and my mental health, and get some rest, eat a good meal, go get a massage. Have something fun.
You know what's crazy now? My job implemented mental health days. So we instead of PTO, we take mental health days.
Really?
Yes.
That's very progressive.
Should do that. Every job should have that.
That's really dope.
Like, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Because it's real. I mean, there's so much stuff going on that you need those days. You know, like, I had some bad news, you know, a couple months ago, and I just need some time off. You know what I'm saying? So just the fact that you got that, I think every job should
it even make it sound better, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it sound like they care.
Mental health day, like, you know what? I do need a meal. You realize, okay, I do need a mental health day a day, just sometimes just to sit at the crib and just self-reflect.
You know why that's progressive? Because somebody was smart. They did the research, and they found out that people are probably more productive overall the 365 or the 52 weeks if you gave them a mental health day, because they're going to come to work, you ain't got to do nothing anyways. And they got to pay you. So, like, you're not going to be, or you dealt with your stuff and come back, you're going to be more productive. But what about the people that can't afford it? I need 3 weeks off. I just lost something. Well, you got to go back to work. You bury a parent, a sibling, a family member, and I just got to go back to work like none. How am I supposed to be? I truly, you know, if you're back to normal, you're probably like a mad person.
Yeah.
You know, and now you walk around, and so when they did that, they were probably like, we can get a better quality of work, especially if you work with people, right?
No, that's true.
You don't want to be an angry person and they deal with people, because it's going to be a bad reflection on their companies. That's really smart and progressive.
Yeah.
And I hope more people do that.
Let's implement
Man,
that more.
please,
We need that time.
we most definitely need that
I
time.
went through a death recently, you know what I'm saying? I only had 5 days off. You know,
That's
just
nothing.
It's nothing.
You're busy during them 5 days
You know
too.
what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I had to go right back into it the following week.
You know, I can understand how stressful when a family member get passed from either natural causes or any type of violence. I had a job. I hate to keep on just bringing this up, but they let me grieve for almost 3 weeks and I still got paid.
That's love. That's love.
Because they value you, and they have values and morals as a company. Somebody said, hey, we're going to put this policy in place. That's amazing. That's a great thing. And I think
I didn't have to bring an obituary or anything. They just, you know what I'm saying? I promise you, I tried to go back home when they say no, go back home.
Man, I hate to say it, but there'd be a whole bunch of extra cousins, and I lost like around spring break. I'll be like, yo, I gotta go. They're in Florida. I don't know. 3 weeks. Yes.
No, see, the thing is, don't abuse it, cause
so you just spread it out.
Don't abuse it, like, you know.
That's bad. I know what bad influence.
Don't abuse it, man. Look, they give it to you, don't abuse it, cause they will. What they give it, they will take it.
They will take it.
Hey, that's true. But I do think like more jobs should implement systems like that.
Shout out to the jobs that do that, though, man. I think that's a really nice thing. I've had crappy jobs, and I have some really good jobs, man.
So, what do you guys think or have to say about PTSD? Any other comments on the topic for tonight?
I just want to say, I think if you even think you have it, man, go seek help somewhere, you know.
Jay?
PTSD is real, right? This is why we sitting down talking about it, so that people who don't know, now you know. PTSD is real. There's nothing wrong with having it. There's nothing wrong with, facing it. Understanding that you have that and you have those triggers will just help you just live longer and a healthier life.
Work on your weakness, right?
Yeah. You saying? If you right-handed, work on your left. You feel me? That's how athletes do it.
That's just being self-aware, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like
Being self-aware. Being mindful. And not just of yourself, but others.
Yeah.
So you mentioned get help. I want to give a list of some local Chicago resources that do holistic therapies. They got the Chicago Center for Holistic Counseling. They offer integrated treatment, psychotherapy, yoga, and things for trauma recovery. It's ChicagoHolisticCounseling.com. I found all these. They're not endorsing or sponsoring us. They probably should. We'd like to have somebody on from it, but these are resources and stuff we found. We want to just give people, want to talk about it, like in the beginning. We want to talk about it, say it's okay. The stigma, we want to identify it, learn a little bit about it, provide some coping mechanisms, and this is the resources. So Chicago Center for Holistic Counseling, and at ChicagoHolisticCounseling.com. Another one I found is the Mindfulness Center for Wellbeing. They specialize in meditation and mindfulness programs. They help people for stress and trauma management. It's mindfulnesschicago.com. Healing Foundations, they do acupuncture and yoga. They do classes for people recovering from trauma. Healingfoundations.com. Healingfoundationschicago.com. Another place was the Urban Balance Therapy Center. They do yoga, and they focus on reducing PTSD symptoms. So we're not saying that there's a total fix for it, but they're teaching you coping mechanisms, how to handle your symptoms.
There's help.
And through activity, breath control, and the Chicago Healing Studio. They do counseling, energy healing. I've experienced energy healing before, and just other mindfulness practices. One thing you gotta know is if you're serious about recovery and doing something, then it's not only important that you go take this serious, but the people around you. For example, if you have an alcoholic family member, you're not gonna go around them, they just quit. You're not gonna go around them with alcohol and drinking and put them in that situation. More importantly, they're an adult. So now if you say, I quit drinking, I need to make sure I don't go around toxic people that like to drink. That's their thing. I have to be more aware of my environments, the personal relationships I have, and the situations I put myself in. Because I have to set myself up for success. If I know I'm around Jay makes me angry, and Sinister got the liquor, then I allow myself to be triggered, and I have a person that will be toxic with me.
Yeah.
So you have to realize that you have to, no matter how hard you work on yourself, if you're in the wrong environments or around the wrong people, then it's gonna trigger things, and it's gonna be adverse to your recovery. You're gonna be fighting uphill, as they say. You're gonna make your recovery in your life more difficult not because you're not working at yourself, simply because you're around the wrong people.
I think that's key, understanding your triggers.
Yes.
I don't think a lot of people understand what their triggers are, and they wonder why this is happening, that's happening, I'm having a bad day. So once again, being mindful of hey, you know what? Hey, this person is kind of toxic.
Yeah.
Man. You know, let me back up a little bit. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Man.
Hey, this job that's giving me headaches, giving
Yes.
me migraines. Maybe it's time to quit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's a good token.
Awareness is big
Awareness is
of
huge.
other people. So maybe you'll meet somebody, you get in an Uber, maybe the guy looks like he's having a bad day. Be nice to that person. You know,
you never
each
know.
one teach one. Just spread love.
You never know.
Spread love, talk life into people. You know, I'm always happy. I meet people, and depending on how the relationship is, just because they're doing you a service, especially if you're out, you're in their car, you're eating their food, or you're their guest. Just be nice to people. Be mindful of it, because we don't know what that person is going through.
You don't know what that person
Behind
is
every
going
smile
through,
is a lot
man.
of pain. Behind every pretty face, all that shit. Like, nice car, whatever. We all have something that we're dealing with. So if we're more mindful, then we can recognize it not only, I think, in ourselves, but in other people, and say, do I really want to deal with that?
Yeah.
Because I drink and she likes to drink, so now we're together. We're a bad combination. You know, there's like bad. It's a bad mix, right?
Whitney and Bobby.
Where they might not have been as bad separate, like but they trigger each other, and then you have nobody. There's nobody saying, no, let's not do all this. You have two people that are, what you're doing is you're feeding a need or an addiction, and a lot of this stuff comes from a trauma. And you know what? It's already done. Why am I gonna punish myself for something that happened to me? It wasn't my fault, and that's done already. You know, it's like you crash your car and you're mad every time you get in the car. Like, why am I gonna do that? Let me just enjoy the car. Let me enjoy life.
Yeah. Got
So,
to.
to me, enjoy the ride. That's it. You know,
Enjoy
that's
the
this thing
ride.
called
Learn to
life.
let
I
go.
don't think there's much more to it, but to enjoy life itself and the ride and the experience
sometimes you
and the
gotta go to
people that you
BS.
meet through it.
You gotta let go to BS sometimes, man, so you can enjoy that ride.
It's crazy, man. So, Sinister, if they want to tap in with you, man, they want to get in tune with the new music you got, the content, how can they find you?
SinisterMusicGroup.com. All links to all social media on there. You can find me at SinisterMusicGroup@gmail.com. That's SinisterMusicLabel@gmail.com. Facebook, Sinister Music Group, IG Sinister Music, Twitter Sinister Music.
Nice.
TikTok also, Sinister the Entertainer. YouTube, Sinister the Entertainer. Utilize y'all outlets, everybody.
You still got that Black Planet profile or no?
Oh man, nah.
Sinister Music Group.
I tried to log in last week. The server down.
They tripping.
The server's
All
gone.
right. There's more to come with that.
Yeah.
That's a throwback, man.
That was Facebook before it was
MySpace.
MySpace.
It was.
I was mad as hell when they took my profile.
Everybody had the SpongeBob with the Uzi in the background.
The profiles.
We gotta find that. Throw that up there. Yeah.
The profiles were crazy. That was our first generation through that. JR, man, what you got coming up, and where can they find you?
Man, JR out here. You already know I'm out here grinding music out here everywhere on all social media platforms that you got. YouTube, Spotify.
Drop a name of a record, a song, or something.
Look, man. So my newest single out right now, it is called. What's my shit called?
So many
is the name of the song.
Hey, when you be working,
download it.
when you be working,
I am working. Man, I got so many songs out there, man. But it's called To The Point. I'm sorry. New single out, To The Point, out there on all social media platforms.
What about the website, man? Hit them with the website.
Yeah, we got a website, courtesy of UGTV, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out Urban Grind.
You feel me? That's at jrlyrics.com. If you don't know the spelling, it is JRLYRIQUES. All right. Same to social media platforms everywhere. I'm not that hard to find, man. Hit me up. Send me a DM. Let's work. I mean, I'm doing features. You know what I'm saying? Any artists out there, I'm doing features. Let's work. You know let's get this music going. I ain't gonna forget y'all trap name. I promise. So, yeah, we out here, man. So yeah.
Man, shout out to John Daniel. Make us look good every week.
Johnny.
Behind the camera. I think he left. He went to Walgreens or something. He just hits record and leaves. That's his gift.
Yeah,
but he
man.
works out in post-production somehow. Remember when he had an office? We never saw John. John was always in the office hiding. Yeah, busy. But I told him, you got the camera's out here.
Hey,
but he's somewhere else. I don't know.
Hey, comment on the video. Johnny come out the office.
Shout out to John Daniel.
Get out the office, Johnny come out the office.
John Daniel. Shout out to Athena.
Athena working the boards today.
Yeah. She's making us sound good.
Yes, sir.
She's behind the scenes. She's model, makeup artist, board engineer, and security, private security. So
man,
she got tap in.
She Puerto Rican, so you know what y'all getting.
3 states. There's 3 states. There's 3 states she can't go because she got warrants in those 3 states. But we'll let you know if it's one of those states. You just hit us up. Puerto Rican.creative. And yeah, she got you, man. She got you right.
Don't forget to share and like when y'all hit up.
During Christmas, she got the conquito, right? Is that what it's called?
I got the banana pudding.
See, conquito, banana pudding, Puerto Rican.creative is wild. It's your boy Wally, aka Mr. Music is My Business. Thank you for joining us on Mind Over Men. If you know somebody that's struggling with PTSD, let them know that reach out for help. It's crucial. Talk to them. And tap in, man. I'm really proud to do this show. This is only the 2nd episode, but you know, being able to talk about men's mental health and you know, keeping it real about it. So I appreciate you brothers coming out and doing this,
man.
And
appreciate the show, man.
My book is out officially. There's no more waiting. None of that is out. It's called Music is My Business: The Ultimate Startup Guide to the Music Industry. They can check it out on musicbusinessebook.com. musicbusinessebook.com. They can copy it on the digital or hard copies are available, man. So make sure y'all tap in.
Oh man, get y'all a copy,
get the
man.
book, get you a copy, man.
Get you a couple copies.
That's right.
Real good read, man.
That's right. So it's your boy Wally, aka Mr. Music is My Business. And don't forget, you can't make money and excuses at the same time. We'll see you next week.
All right, peace out, man.